What was it like during the war?
Hmm?
What was it like during the wartime?
Oh, I can't remember. It wasn't any harder than anything else, I don't think.
No.
What do you think of England? Still is. But you can't bring them back. She left, Chris was her son, well he's up on the Murray. But whoever this man was that sat beside me, I'm all now. We've had water out there. Oh yeah, would have been quite a while.
Did you ever swim at Lake Hindmarsh?
Hey?
Did you ever go swimming in Lake Hindmarsh? Did you?
What?
Did you swim in Lake Hindmarsh?
You got a car?
No. Have you ever been the day that you ran away?
Hmm?
Mum asked me to ask you about the day that you ran away.
Me?
Yeah, when you were little.
When I ran away?
Yeah.
Where was I?
I don't know.
I can't remember running away from anything. What's she talking about?
I don't know. Well, maybe I got the question wrong.
Hmm?
Did you sell in the shop?
Hmm?
What things did you sell in the shop?
What did I do
Yeah, what did you sell in the shop?
when I sold it?
No, what types of things?
Hmm?
What did you sell? Bread, coffee, tea?
Oh, everything I had there. Sugar. Brandon Pollard in the back, in the storeroom. Anything you name it, we had it. It was a good grocery shop.
What about beer?
Huh?
Beer?
No, it was out at Antwerp.
Yeah.
And this day this fella come in, he's looking round and going on, and he says, God, he says, this is just the business, this is just the business I'd have loved, I would love. And I turned round with my grandmother when I was about 16, 17.
Oh yeah.
And Granny used to say to, of course Jack and I got friendly then, and she said I would be able to die peacefully if I knew Evelyn was getting looked after. Or she thought he was just the bee's knee and the cat's whisker. She was on that, and then what did she do when we did get married? She lived on for a good long time afterwards.
What was her name?
Hmm?
What was her name?
Granny's name? What was it? I'm stuck now.
Granny.
Hmm? I did. I can't think of it. Oh, I've paddled in it. And I can't swim. I can't sink. I can float.
Oh.
I can lie back and float as easy as anything. Put my head down and float. But I'm damned if I can swim.
Oh.
So that's that. But I can lie in the water, put my head down, and just stop on top of the water. But not going to be too deep, but get me out. No, I haven't got any hope of swimming. Never been able to. The family all can, but I never learned to swim.
Why is that?
Never had any idea of swimming. So if I got to get out too deep, well, that'd be the end of it. It'd be doomsday, because I can't swim. Well, there's plenty of water in the river again, no? It's looking good.
Yeah.
I've got a very sore eye. Most of the things, it's that sore I can hardly bear it. I've got all the grumples today. Well, I don't know what I've done about this other damn call I had. This spoke I mean, and this little one. Just down from the ambulance station, I've got a good home. That's it. I can't get in there without I get someone to live with me. The policeman was very good to me. he was a nice chap. See, I had early in the piece I had someone come and try to get in. That was a bit of a stir. I don't know that they would have been, I don't think it would have been that much bother. It's not a very nice feeling when you're on your own to have anyone want to come in the house, is it? Well, you wouldn't know, but for me it was different.
No,
Yeah.
I can understand.
Hmm?
I can understand that.
You can understand it.
Well, at the farm's a bit unusual at the moment.
Yeah, well, everybody else understood it. They thought I was better to get out. So, that was that.
And where were you? Where did you live before Antwerp? In Parrot.
God, I don't know.
No, you were in.
You're taking me back a way, too, aren't you?
Huh?
Before Antwerp.
You were in
Oh, we were out at
Lorquin.
Lorquin.
Did you have a shop there?
Eh? Oh,
Did you-
no. It was a sort of a place, that damn Lorquin. I used to have to run up to the train, do the train, come back again, and it was about a mile from the gross, anything at all. It would have been a good mile to the township part. Oh no, that was a good place to get out of. Oh, it was well paid, and we did all right. We did all right there as far as that part of it was concerned, but I mean,
What were your brothers like?
what were they like?
Yeah.
Oh, just boys. Jack was pretty older than me, but I was the next one, and then Tom. Him and I were pretty close together always. We were the ones that got into it. Oh no, I was pretty good. I did well at school, but when I remember Mum saying to Tom, you didn't do as well as your sister. Oh, but she's the teacher's pet. He always say that. Oh, but she's the teacher's pet. But they were a husband and wife. I don't know that the wife, had been a school teacher, but I don't know that she was really employed, but she used to help him a heck of a lot. And I got on well with both of them, because they had no family themselves. And that's how, Tom says, oh, but she's the teacher's pet.
How many kiddies were there in the class?
Quite indignantly he said, eh?
Yeah, that's right. How many children in the class?
Eh?
How many students in the class? How many kiddies in the school? Do you know how many? Do you know how many children there were in the schoolroom?
Oh, there was quite a few there. Maybe 20, I suppose, 30.
Oh, so it's a little place.
It wasn't a bad school. It was a good school. And he was a good teacher too. She was a very good teacher. She, now, if it was something that I was doing, anyone that she thought had a bit of brain, she'd keep them back and show them a bit extra. That's what Tom used to be crooked on me for, because she sort of helped me a lot.
Yeah.
But I did well at school. I didn't do, well, when I married Jack, it wasn't long and I was a station mistress, You can't do all those things on nothing, can you?
No.
But I'm just plain me now, and that's where I want to stop. That's enough.
What do you remember? What form you went to in high school?
Oh, right to the finish. Yeah, I did well.
Form 6 or Form 4 or?
No, it was up a bit. Listen, what's that noise?
I don't know.
Trees and everything.
Yeah.
Bran, pollard, potatoes. It's not there, It's gone.
Is it?
Oh, heck yeah, just going to run a while.
I think the building's still there.
Huh?
The Antwerp shop building is still there. You sure?
No, it's all gone. Nothing there.
Oh, we'll have to go and have a look.
Isn't it? What do you got to travel in?
Car?
Your own?
Yeah.
How'd you get your own car here?
I bought one in Brisbane, and then
Huh?
I bought one in Brisbane and drove down.
Oh. Good. Well, to have plenty of money, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I bought it second hand.
It's going all right. What is
Yeah.
it?
Ford.
Ford. Oh well, they're pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're as good as the rest. No, there's just nothing there. The blacksmith shop's gone.
Right.
You wouldn't know it. You know, the blacksmith shop was quite a good job. Not far down from us, was it? From the shop.
Right.
Who was there again? What was his name? God, I know it as well as anything. Eldridge, wasn't it?
Don't know.
Hmm?
I don't know.
Don Eldridge. Don Eldridge had the shop. I'm sure that's right.
That was the blacksmith shop.
Blacksmith shop, yeah. He was the blacksmith. Well, that closed down. The shop closed down, but that I didn't close it down. The fellow that I sold it to it went from. Actually, he thought he had a very good business. So when he came into the shop, he said, looked around and he says, "Gee, this is just the sort of business I'd like." And I turned around. I said, "Are you fair dinkum?" He said, "Yes." I said, I said, gave him the price, the shop, and the stock, as you know, stock at valuation. So we did all that and shook hands over the counter, and the shop was sold.
Sure.
I thought I'd been in it long enough, working myself inside out.
And what year was that?
It's gone back a while on now, good while back. Yeah. Because I owned the house up from the ambulance station there, just coming down a bit, that's my house.
That's right.
And I'd love to get in it, but this is what was. See, this is what I wanted at, what did I say? Did I say Melton or Melton South?
No, I don't know.
I don't think it was either. I'll forget now, Shane. I've got no idea. Round about that country it would have been. I wasn't there.
You turned up late.
But
And what did your brothers do for work? You remember?
well, Tom was at the grocer's. He was on the grocer's cart when I waved him out of the aeroplane. He used to help run the grocery up, you know, from Melton South, go up from Melton to Melton South, then take it round the place. He was the grocer driver and worked at the shop. And Jack, I think he did better than that. I forget where he was. But we always got on pretty well together. But Pat always said, though, if anything was done well, and Mum would say to him something about your sister would do better than that. Oh, but like at school, when I come home, my books would be top grade and he'd be backwards, and she'd say to him, you know, it's about time you'd start to just do a little bit better. And he says, oh, but she's the teacher's pet. He always called me the teacher's pet. No, I think I was too. They were very good to me. They were husband and wife. She wasn't the teacher, but she used to help a lot. And always brought over a hot cup of tea or a hot drink for us. No, I think it was Milo. She used to bring over at playtime for us all to have. Although they were very good. I don't know that I've ever seen teachers doing anywhere else. See that you got, you know. Anyway, no, we were well looked after. But I remember Mum saying to me, look at your sister's books. Look what she got. Oh, but she's the teacher's pet. Tom would be very sarcastic. We got on. We used to get on well together, though. We were good mates. But I think I've always, if a thing's worth doing, it's worth doing well. I think I've always been the same. That's why I've got where I've got to. I know the teacher, when they bought the Full Auckland, I suppose we come from Melton South. Melton.
Is that where Jack was from?
See, he was on the railways and we went up and lived at Lauchlan. But I had somewhere else before that, because I remember when I got out the station at Lauchlan, because he was a ganger by then. See, he was the ganger. And I said to him, I turned around and I said to him, well, I said, you may have been promoted, but I have been damn well demoted. Oh God, blooming place to live in and everything else. It was a dump of a place. Good million miles to go to. The kids would go to school, and although I got friendly with some people that used to pick the kids up and take them to school, and then when they weren't home, their children used to come and stay with me until they got home. And we got very friendly, and they were very wealthy people. So I scored there because the kids used to love to come and play with my kids. And that worked out very well. But I got that Lauchlan. It was the township's a mile away. Couldn't even get a loaf of bread without getting up there. And I had no way of walking up all that way to the darn place. Oh, crikey.
What did you say? Did you just work the weighbridge, did you?
Hmm?
Did you work the weighbridge?
In those days?
Yeah.
I had the station.
Oh, you were in the
station.
Oh, right. Oh.
But I said to Jack, when we got there and I saw what was going on, I said to him, well, you might have been promoted, but I've been darn well demoted.
So you were in the railways too?
Oh, yes. Yeah. I was a station mistress. I used to be the... Where was I? Lauchlan. Where else? Oh, I can't think now, Shane. Different places I was.
Yeah.
Wherever he worked, I was the station mistress. And then, of course, he died of galloping cancer, remember? He just died like that quick. And I was on my own for a while when I married, well, he married me, Len Duffus. See, I'm Duffus now. And he was reasonably well off and so forth, and so was I, because I'd made sure I saved me money as I worked for it long enough. And what did we buy? I must have been in Dibula. I was up at the station, I think. I run the station. I got there, and then afterwards, the station master. It was a new station master come to Dimboola, and I went over to Perth, and had a trip. I had a trip right around the coast, and we saw the whaling station. You know, just right on the coastline. We went in and saw the whales and did all that, and then come up the thing, and who should I run into but the station master. And he says, "God bless me soul, what are you doing here?" I said, "The same as you are, I'm holidaying." At any rate, I was with the woman that lived over in the end of the last house over here. Oh, I always threatened, that from that time, never again would I ever go with her again. That she was the last time I'd ever holiday with her. At any rate, how did it come about? He said, oh, this calls for a drink. I said, no. I said, we've got to be back at the Thimbleby and for our tea in time, we can't be late for that. I said, no thanks. I said, I'm no drinker. At any rate, and she says, of course we've got time. Well, I was just about ready to knock her in the head. So we had to stop and have the damn drink. And coming back, I thought, it'll be the last time you'll ever come anywhere with me, or I'll go with you. By crikey, I did it too. And she's since died, thank goodness. And Jack had too, of course. Then afterwards, now, how did I come to get married again? He was the station master. That's right, he was on the station. And his wife had died some time ago, but she was a complete cripple, and he used to have to get her out of bed and in a sling and put her on another bed, a thing to have her showered and bathed and put her back into bed again. He looked after her very well. He'd done a wonderful job. And she died, and then I don't know what he was doing. There was something about it. We both went to the same church, and one day he walked home with me, and then after a while we sort of, I forget how it started, but I felt terribly sorry for him because I knew that how he had a hard time looking after her. Not that she wasn't a nice, lovely woman, she probably was. But she was very, very ill. At any rate, she died, of course, and was buried, and he was on his own. And next thing he got friendly with me. We got friendly, and I got married again. But I've never regretted it because he was a good husband, and that was it. But I never had any family to him. I only had family to Jack, which was a good thing, wasn't it? Not have it mixed up. And how do you like England?
It's not bad. When you go on your day trips in the day centre, can you?
We've been up to the lake. We went up to see the water. When I first got into that, we went up to see that. And we go up round Newell. A lot of places we go to. Go into Horsham. We've gone in and had a fish lunch there. Oh, we had a woman not very long ago, only about 3 weeks ago, pulled up in a lovely van. She pulled up out the front here and wanted to know would anyone like to go for a trip. And I said, I'm sure Saturday whatever could go went, came out. And we went up and we bought fish and chips up at Neil in a little box, and sat out on the grass eating our fish and chips, and then come back again. It was wonderful. And we didn't know her from a bar of soap. She's just come to take us out.
And where was this? Where'd you go to?
We went from here up to Nil.
Up there.
Stopped on, we'd go right into the town. We sat out on the grass, and had our chips and our fish and chips. But she was nice. When I told Rick about it, he'd look, because he's the driver on our bus. But she had a big bus herself. I said, well, she came in and pulled in and asked anyone that wanted to go, could go. And I said, they all pulled out and come and went. We all went. When we got up there, it cost us 30 cents, I think, for our fish and chips. We sat there and had a good old time and then came home. There's just kind people about, really. Don't you reckon?
Yeah.
God, I wish my eyes were better.
So when you were in Antwerp, did Mum and Uncle Johnny go to Japarra for football and things like that?
You know what?
Uncle Johnny played for Japarra, didn't he?
Hmm?
Uncle John Shanahan, Johnny Shanahan, played football for Japarra, didn't
That's
he?
right, yeah.
Was that while he was living in Antwerp?
Yeah.
He'd drive up and play for Japarra.
Or he'd go with someone. I was never very much of a football fan. Never been.
No?
No.
Why is that? Is there, think they're a little bit...
I don't know. How many's been hurt in football?
That's true. They get a bit carried away with it, I think.
Yeah.
It seems to be more important than...
Shaq played football.
He played cricket too, didn't he?
Aye.
He played cricket too.
Yeah. He was the captain coach, I think, of when we were at Melton. And who was he? I forget now. A big ruler, I forget. I'll find out this year. Jeff Slater. She's Jeff Slater and I'm Eve Duffus. They reckon the two terribles, they call us. The two terribles. She's a very nice person. But she doesn't go out. She doesn't go on trips or anything like I do. She'd only have to be a trip come up and I'd be on it straight away.
Mm-hmm.
That, even if she seldom goes anywhere. Her room is number 6. She's only just a bit out of the big room down there. She's where she sleeps. And of course this is mine here. I've got another woman in here though. I'm not altogether on my own. And there's one next door there. She's only just moved in. Because we don't see her. The what?
You were talking about your brothers.
Yeah, and I was going to, something else I was going to think about. I've forgotten it now.
What did your dad do for work?
Don't know him. Never knew her father.
You didn't know yours?
I think he was gone on where we were old enough to know. We always lived with Mum. Till we were old enough to... and of course, when I got married to... That's what I was going to tell you. When I got married to Len, you know, he collapsed at the... He just stopped it. He just dropped it at the dead door. And I couldn't live in that house. I couldn't go into that bedroom. I used to have to step over where he fell. So we had time to get out, wasn't it? Oh, I just couldn't bear it. I kept on seeing him on the floor all the time. Now he was a good husband. He was very good to me. Although I think I had more money in the bank than he did when we got married. He was quite surprised. But I've always been a saver.
And what did your mum do for living?
Hmm?
What did your mum do for money?
Your mother?
No, your mum.
Oh, I can't remember, Shane. I don't think she'd have been a spender. No, she would have been a good mother and a good, caring person.
With your dad away, how did you make ends meet?
Oh, well, I think I must have been getting a bit older, and that's when I got married. Mum had died. I remember it was Granny that I lived with, my grandmother I lived with, and she said to Jack when he was coming, she says if Evelyn was married, I could die happy.
Oh.
So she encouraged him, and that's how we got married. But she knew he had a good job and all the rest of it, and that's what happened.
And was your granddad Irish?
She wasn't worried about Tom or Jack, because she thought, well, they could fend for themselves, but it was different with me. She says, I could die happy if I knew she was getting well looked after. And she says, no, I know you're a good man. So that was that.
Where did she live? She lived in Melton South too?
Yeah. But she was very popular. The church fella used to often go to her, read to her and so forth. But she'd worked hard. She used to work somewhere in Melbourne until she got older, and well, of course then she died. That's what she said. She said when Jack was hanging around, she said, I could die happy if I knew she had someone to look after her. So he was encouraged. Whether I liked it or not was a different story. I'm going to leave my biggie up there. Don't want two biggies. I know. I think I had a good life. But Granny was the instigator of me getting married to Jack. Because I think I was only about 18, 17 or 18. I might have been 17 and a half. And she said to him, I could die happy if I knew she was being looked after. Because he had a good job, good railway job. Then blow me down, we get out to Antwerp. Oh no, we went to Lawford first, then we get to Antwerp. And what does he do? Turns around and dies of a colon cancer. And he said to Eileen too, this was a bad thing, Pickering. He said to Eileen, there's every chance your mother could have it too. And of course Eileen nearly went overboard but when she heard that. Anyway, she went to come back into, I don't know, she ran down the street anyway, and Pickering come into, the results hadn't come back, but they came back after she left. And he came back and he said to me, where's Eileen? I said, she's just gone down the street. So he ran down after her to tell her that the results had come back clear. I didn't have cancer. It was just a, whatever, natural thing I had, and I would be all right. I'd be okay. But anyway, here I am. Better touch wood. Aye? It's a long time ago. But I'm still trying to find out who this was that come and told me. Damned if I can find out. I can't think who it was. Len had to go and die. Left me on my own. But I do all right. I've got no worries.
What was?
A lot of good friends.
Where did you live in Melton South? What do you remember the address?
Melton South. Oh, I can't remember, Shay. I think we moved from one to the other. I was at Melton when I went up in the aeroplane.
The first time.
Well, this couple of fellas, they had to land at Melton, see, and they were waiting, they had to waiting on something to get us something or other. Didn't know they got it, and then they said, "Would anyone like a ride?" I said, "Oh, I'd love one." because my brother Tom used to be at the grocer's shop and run the grocer's cart. And of course, when I get in the plane and go circling around Melton, I'm waving to him like anything out of the plane, because he's going along the road with the grocer's cart, and he's wondering who. I said to the driver, he doesn't know his sister's sitting up here waving to him. So, well, as soon as that damn plane landed and I got out, I don't know how many wanted to go, and they just says no, they were sorry, they were losing time now, they had to go. He never took anyone else up in the plane. I was the only one that got the ride. The school teacher, he wanted to ride up, or right or wrong after I come down, but no, he wouldn't. He never took another one. I was the only one that got to ride round the town. Oh, I loved it. I'm waving like this out to Tom in the grocer's cart, but he didn't know it was his sister up in the plane.
Was that a horse and cart?
Huh?
Was that a horse and cart or a truck?
He was in the horse and cart. Baker's top, you know, proper thing he used to have and drive. That was Garrett. That's what he was in. Anyway, I was waving to him like anything. I said to the driver, he doesn't know it's his sister waving to him. Oh, golly. But as soon as that plane landed, the school teacher and everybody wanted to go up, and he just says no, they're running very late now. I think there's 2 or 3 of them, but only one went up with me, and he says we've got to leave. They came to escort Amy Johnson. They came, but she'd gone on ahead. So they just spent the time there doing what they were doing. They came in to escort her. Oh no, she went round Geelong Way, that's right. She didn't come, they took her round Geelong Way and brought her up into Melbourne. And they thought she would have come straight on the straight lines.
Well, who's Amy Johnson?
Oh, she was the Amy Johnson. Oh, she did a lot, didn't she? Wasn't she a florist? Something. She was. Amy. She was. You know, somebody special. I can't remember now what it is. I think she was somehow. I think she was a. She could have been a pilot, you know, a woman pilot. And they came round, she was flying, and they came round to meet her to escort her into town, into Melton, or Melton South, wherever it was at the time. And of course she didn't, she went back to Melbourne a different way. So they missed out. And that's how they come to take me up on the plane. You know,
and where did you live before Melton South?
Oh God, I forget.
Where did you, as a kiddie though?
Kids went to school at Melton South. So, I went to school at Melton South. Both Tom and I went to school there.
Oh, I see.
And I did very well at school, and Mum would growl at him and say, I don't know why you can't do as well as your sister. Oh, he says, she's the teacher's pet. He used to be always saying that.
But you had 2 brothers though, didn't you?
Hmm?
You had 2 brothers?
Yeah, Jack and Tom. But Jack was older, and he you know, he was working. Tom and I were just, I think there was not a great deal between us. But they've died a long time ago. I'm the only one that exists. Better touch wood. You never know when my turn will be here. Where's the wood? I'm getting up a bit, you know.
Yeah.
Hmm?
And so Tom was closer to you in age, was he?
Hmm?
Tom was a young one. He was younger than you, was he?
Yeah, not much. Only about 18 months, I suppose, something like that. He wasn't a lot younger. We always did everything together. Got into strife together and got out of it together. Whatever was going, like kids are.
And was Melton South, did it have a street? Was the street like a city, or was it just a little town then?
No, it's got the station there, I think, isn't it? I forget now, Shane.
But just a little place, was it?
Hmm?
Was it just a little town?
Yeah. Melton's a bit bigger.
Oh, so Melton South was a little place where Melton was a big...
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, you went through Melton, like it was a city coming from Bacchus Marsh up. It was a bit, not a city, but it was a good-sized town then. Melton South wasn't too big.
You can't remember the street? No.
No. I'd probably have to go back to remember it. But this damn fella that come the other night, he's really got me. Let's see, I had the stationery to do. When Jack died and that, but I gave it up then. I didn't want to be, I got too old in any case. You've got to be able to run when you've got to be on a thing like that. You've got to be, be able to be there on time and do lots of other things. I used to have the mailbag all ready and have that to make sure that went too. And there's a lot of things, important things besides having passengers. But I don't think there was any complaints. I got on pretty well.
So you left school.
Mm?
You left school, then become the station mistress at Melton South. Then Lorquin.
Yeah, we shifted out to Lorquin. Well, Jack became a ganger, see.
What was he?
Because that's where he started from. I was the one, and of course the station, the township was a damn mile up the road. See, and the kids had to go to school there too, because they'd started school by the time we got there. And but we were lucky that we got friendly with these people that were quite wealthy, had a big farm. I forget what their names was now, but I know we got very friendly, and if they were going anywhere or were going to be late home, the kids always come and stayed with me until they could pick them up. So it come in very handy really, and they were very, very good to us. Yes.
What did when you were in Melton South, what job was Jack doing?
He was on the state railway line. We weren't married then. He was on the railway line. That's how I come to meet him.
And what job was he doing there?
Well, he used to go out on the trike and all that sort of thing. I forget what he was. He wasn't as high up as what I was at the time, but he soon got up. He became a ganger and so forth. He did all right.
And what's a ganger?
Oh, that's the boss.
Oh, see. Oh, he was the boss of the workers, of the working gang that fixed the railway lines.
Oh yeah, he did well because he had a good education. He probably had a better education than I had.
Which school did he go to? Where did he go?
I went to the Melton School and so forth and things like that. But I did do well at school. But he probably did a higher course. Oh no, he wasn't stupid. What did Len? Len was he was a station master, wasn't
he? Yeah. Of Dimbulla, wasn't he?
Yeah, so I didn't get too far away from him, did I?
Railway line, yeah. So you were in the railways, and then you lived in Church Street next to the railway line.
Oh well, you got to be somebody to do these things.
Oh, they're important.
Then he died on me, you know. He dropped it at the blooming just before Christmas. Dropped it at the darn bedroom window door. That took the stuffing right out of me. And I vowed and declared right there and then, that's the last time I'll ever live with a man. I'll never get married again. And I haven't, and I won't. No matter how good they are. That's something I couldn't handle. Oh, crikey. I used to go out, I used to step over where he died. I couldn't even put my foot on the ground. Part that he was there.
Oh, that was in the bedroom next to the...
Aye?
Which bedroom was that? That was the one closest to the road?
Up at the station house, yeah. I used to have to put my foot over. I couldn't possibly, because that's where they picked him up. Been gone by then. I don't think it was. I think probably it was a heart attack, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a heart attack. God, doesn't leave you long, does it?
No.
But he was good. He was a good husband. I remember when he wanted to marry me. That's what he said. I said to him, I said no. I said I like you, but I said I cannot live with anyone that drinks. I hate it. He says I only drink because I'm lonely. He said and I wouldn't be lonely with you. I said too big a risk. So it went for a while, and then I give in.
But did he drink in the house?
No, but the wife he used to have to get her up out of had a sling for her to get her up out of bed because she was a complete cripple. Get her up out of bed and wash her and get her, ready, and then go over and do the train. I thought, he did have a heck of a life. I thought to myself, I can't be too hard. But after we got married, well, nothing. We never turned back, did we? He got a car and we went for trips and life was just good. Until he died on me. He died then. He just dropped dead. Just like that. Right at the door. So when your time's up, it's up, isn't it? But God, that's going back a good while, Shane.
Yeah.
But I've always said I'm on my own now, and that's the way I will stay. Don't want any more.
Had Jack died of cancer, didn't he?
Hmm?
Your first husband died of galloping cancer.
That's right.
Where was that?
At Melton South, I suppose.
No, that was.
I forget. No, I don't know.
You would have been. You went to Lorcan with him.
Oh, well, that's very. Yeah, that would have been where it was, I suppose. I'd forgotten, Shane. I've forgotten that one. I know he just dropped dead at the door. Getting near to Christmas it was too. About a fortnight to Christmas. So that ended Christmas. I had a fall here a while back. Beautiful fall.